On a summer evening in San Francisco, 32-year-old Kate Stanley was walking along the waterfront with her father when a single gunshot shattered that moment. The bullet struck her in the back, killing her almost instantly. Now, the man behind the trigger, Jose Inez Garcia Zarate, was an illegal immigrant who had reportedly been deported from the United States 5 separate times before returning again. What followed was more than just a murder case. It became a national flashpoint. The tragedy ignited a fierce political firestorm over illegal immigration, border security, and sanctuary city policies. Then, presidential candidate Donald Trump repeatedly invoked Stanley's death as evidence that America's immigration system had catastrophically failed, even mentioning her during his speech at the 2016 Republican National Convention.
Help me, Dad. Those were the last words spoken by Kate Stanley as she lay dying on a San Francisco pier, a precious young American woman killed in the prime of her life. Kate's death is a tragedy that was entirely preventable. She was shot by an illegal alien and a 7-time convicted felon who had been deported 5 times. But he was free to harm an innocent American because our leaders refused to protect our border and because San Francisco is a sanctuary city. No American should be separated from their loved ones because of preventable crime committed by those illegally in our country.
Donald Trump's tough stance on illegal immigration was one of the biggest reasons he won the presidency in 2016. For millions of Americans, cases like Kate Stanley became proof that the system was broken, and of course the border was out of control. The moment Trump entered the White House in 2017, he wasted no time. One of his first major moves was launching the construction of a stronger US-Mexico border wall, replacing weak, outdated barriers with hardened security systems built to stop tragedies like Kate Stanley from happening again. But almost immediately, the response was explosive. The political left argued that the approach was too harsh, too symbolic, and too focused on fear rather than reform.
And the fact is, I've made it very clear. Within 100 days, I'm going to send to the United States Congress a pathway to citizenship for over 11 million undocumented people. And all of those so-called dreamers, those DACA kids, they're going to be immediately certified again to be able to stay in this country and put on a path to citizenship.
During Trump's first term, illegal border crossing dropped sharply, a major win for his hardline immigration agenda. But everything changed in 2021. When Joe Biden took office, the entire system shifted. Over the next 4 years, the southern border descended into chaos, with estimates suggesting nearly 10 million illegal crossings during the Biden administration. What was once tightly controlled under Trump quickly became one of the most controversial and explosive political flashpoints in modern US history. After 4 years of chaos under Biden, Trump argued America was left with a broken border crisis on a historic scale, and that fixing it was exactly why he returned, to shut it down and restore control.
If you're going to have 21 million people, and if we have to get a lot of them out because they're criminals, we're going to have to act fast. We have thousands of murderers that came in. They're going to murder people. They already have murdered people in our country.
Right, so
we have to get them out, and we have to get them out fast.
To tackle the border crisis, Trump appointed Tom Homan as White House border czar, a hardliner with a simple mission: regain control of the border, no compromises.
anybody in this country is here illegally, we're looking for them, we're going to arrest them and deport them. I mean, bottom line is we're not going to give up on President Trump's promise to the American people of mass deportations. And look, we're going to do the best we can to enforce immigration law, and that's what we're doing now. We already had a record this past year. I mean, the prior record was the Obama administration in 2012. I actually got an award from President Obama for that. Of course, they don't want to admit it now. That was 409,000. We blew that out of the water, and we're going to blow it again out of the water next year. So, you know, for those who say we can't possibly move that many people, we'll see. But we're going to give it our best shot and try as hard as we can to enforce immigration law, because we need to send a message to the whole world that You know, for the non-criminals, most of them here are non-criminals, right? But we need to send a message to the whole world that it's not okay to enter the country illegally, which is a crime. Not okay to ignore a judge's order. Just don't commit another crime and we're not looking for you. That's not the message we're sending. If you violate the laws of this country and you're here illegally, we're looking for you. President Trump has said public safety threats, national security, that's had to be the priority because of the biggest threats to this country. However, we said from day one, no one's off the table. So I look at the numbers right now. About 60% of those we are arresting are criminals. 40% are non-criminals. I like that calculation. I think 60 criminal, 40 non-criminal is better than 40 criminal and 60 non-criminal. So we are enforcing law across the board, and the numbers prove it. President Trump's been clear from day one. Amnesty's off the table. He don't support amnesty in any form, either do I. If you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. I'd said from day one, I'll say it again, I think I just said it when I stood here. President Trump said amnesty's off the table, and I support that. I don't think amnesty should be on the table. We do our job. If you're a U.S. citizen, you got nothing to fear. We deport people that are going to be deportable. We arrest people that are going to be deportable based on reasonable suspicion. The lies from the left that says ICE is out, ICE is arresting people in churches and schools and hospitals. And I challenge anybody, any of you, give me one example where ICE has arrested somebody in a church. Give me one example we arrested anybody inside a hospital or elementary school. The only people that violated the sanctuary of the church was Don Lemon and that group. We have not. We try now look, let me make it clear. If you're a significant public safety threat or national security threat, there's no sanctuary in this country. If we can find you, we're going to find you. But we try very hard to do things the right way and not have to go into an elementary school or a church. And the numbers prove it. We look at the numbers and the other thing, about, presidents can't, we got mass deportation, another mistruth. You look at the numbers right now, about 60% of people we're arresting is criminal, 40% non-criminal. I think that's a pretty good mix. Should it be 40% criminals and 6% non-criminals? No. The president's keeping to his commitment. We're going to prioritize the public safety threats. That's exactly what we're doing. But sanctuary cities like New York is dangerous. And now there's a back and forth. What I said is that because we lose the efficiency of the jail, we lose the efficiency of the 287G program, we got to send more agents to New York. Or rather than one agent arresting one bad guy in the safety and security of a jail, which is safer for the alien, safer for the agent, certainly safer for the community, they're going to release them into the street, which means now you got to send few jobs team to arrest them because you're arresting somebody on his turf who has access to who knows what weapons. So now we got to do 6 or 7 people that could have been done by one in the jail. So now the governor Hochul saying, I'm threatening her. I'm not threatening her. I'm responding to the ridiculous legislation that's going to force more agents in the street. So we had to send more agents there to do what a few jobs team has to do.